Pleasant good evening to you, my YouTube followers and friend. If you have not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, I ask you to subscribe, where you can get more of my videos. As soon as my videos are out, you'll be the first to be informed of my video. Um, my name is Fitzroy Jackson, from Walking by Faith Ministry, or Chat with the Jacksons. We are on Facebook Live every Tuesday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. talking about family. This is the program that tries to keep family together. We are not here to break up family. We are here to keep family together. So today I just want to jump on and talk with you for a little while by asking the question why the divorce rate is so high today. Why are there so many divorces today? This is something I spoke with my mom about, and she informed me that back in the days it was not so. Back in the days there were a problem. Yes, they will have problem, and maybe as much problem as we have today, but they will try and work it out back then. Well, maybe she said that the women were more submissive than today. So while we talk about this for a little while, then we will find out why the wives today are not as submissive as back in the days. She said one of the reasons also why there wasn't a lot of divorces, because back then they would consider divorce as the last option. And apart from considered as the last option, divorce were like expensive back then. So you wouldn't just jump and get a divorce just like that. Also back then it seems like when you are not married and living together, it's like a stigma. Women were usually the homemaker. They used to stay home, so they are more relaxed. They don't have to rush to get to work and hustle and bustle through the day, come back home after prepare dinner, get the kids ready for bed, take care of a husband, then get to bed, hop back tomorrow for the same routine. Most women back then used to stay home and take care of the home. One other thing that she also says that today it's because of finance, and we want to talk a little about finance also, why this is a part of the problem which lead to divorce today. And they said no, too much other types of relationships available today. Back then you were dedicated to your husband, and then that's just your husband. But now you have all different types of relationship which lead to divorce. In the beginning it was not so. The fact that a woman becomes independent, this is a number one reason for divorce today. What do I mean about that? Yeah, back in the days when they have problem, remember now the wife is a stay-home wife, so she don't have the money like the wife have today, because the wife today, they have gone to school now, they're teachers, they're nurse, they're doctors, so they don't need much to move out. As soon as there's an argument, then they would say, listen, I'm an independent woman, so I am out of here. You have the divorce paper in the mail. it saddened me to see a wedding that don't last. But it's a fact that when you see a wedding today, the question that most people ask now, how long this going to last? We have to be very careful. It's a wrong attitude that we have, that it saddens us that we have to ask this question. But we do have to ask it, right? Too much abuse in relationship with cause for divorce. Apart from abuse, you have some men, and it's on two sides. The women also abuse men also, and the men abuse women, and it even leads up to death in some of these cases. Something that costs um, the relationship, it's already gone south, but because of the kids, then my parents would tell me that that's why some relationship still continue. Not that it's perfect or whatever, but it just continue because they don't want to pull the kids apart. They also say that in today's world, you have some partner who will take out insurance on their partner, then get their partner killed. These are some reasons that we shouldn't even think about marriage, because this is the wrong attitude. Some women, and even after they take out the insurance of them, some women are lucky, could be men too, lucky to leave this relationship alive, or lucky to even um, live for the divorce. Some women who live alone, they'd rather live alone than get married today. And it saddens us because in the beginning it was not so. If they have to go through all of this, I'd rather stay by myself. This is what some of the women tell you, that's why they're not getting married today. You have some people who would even tell you that any church who tell you to stay in an abusive relationship, you should leave that church. But it is not that simple. A church will try and work it out. The church will have you talk to a marriage counselor, to the bishop, to the elders, to the pastors, and try and work it out. The church not just going to tell you to leave your relationship like that. But some people will tell you that when I go to the church, if the church says stay, and I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you should be comfortable in an abusive relationship. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that not because the relationship goes sour, then the first thing we think about is divorce. Let's exhaust all avenues before we even think about divorce. That's why we have so many divorce today, because as soon as I say something to my wife that she don't like, she said, you know what, I'm out of here. I'm not doing this anymore. Another problem that caused a lot of divorce, and I think we'll get a little more into that, is independence. I think I made mention of that independence a little before. And with independence, the wife will tell you that I can work and take care of myself. Another problem that cause a lot of divorce is that some men want, because the Bible said, wife, submit yourself unto your own husband, that is in Ephesians 5, then we take the submission too far and we stop at that scripture. But it also continues by saying that, husband, love your wife the way Christ loved the church and gave himself for it. So when you love your wife the way Christ loved the church, then your wife will not have a problem submitting to you. And I bet you that will not happen. If you submit yourself to God, your wife will submit herself to you. The Bible said we must not be unequally yoked. Some people married for different reasons, but if we are not on the same wavelength, and I encourage people, do some dating before. I'm tired of hearing, we meet last week and then we are getting married this week. Get to know who you are marrying to. Because remember, when you're getting married, you're not just marrying your husband, you're getting into a family. You have to check out this family background. You have to check out their mental health. You have to check out if this is a lazy person, if this person can take care of the family. Just don't run and get into it, because the Bible said an equally yoked. Some people married for the wrong reason. Some people even use marriage for business. They use marriage for opportunity. Gone are the days, and not in all cases now, but gone are the days when everybody get married for love. One big problem in relationship is cheating, and a lot of both male and female will not stay in it, and if cheating is a part of it, they say they're gone, not they're out of this relationship. But cheating, another problem is, which we're going to talk about, is communication. And a problem also is lack of respect. You have to respect and love your partner for this to work. And I'm talking on both sides. You have to show me respect, and I have to show you respect. I have to love you, and you have to love me. That's the Bible says, again, you have to love you the way Christ loved the church. And if I love you like that and you submit to me, I'm not going to disrespect you. You're not going to disrespect me, and I'm going to love you, and you're going to love me. People don't want to commit today, but we still want to get married. There's no way we can get married if there is a lack of communication. There's no communication, then that marriage will not work. Let's talk about communication for a minute. And lack of communication will send us to the divorce court. This is one of the reasons we get divorced. This is one of the reasons why the marriage don't work today. It's because of lack of communication. Communication is the key that is lacking in our marriage today. It is a key, and without this key, the relationship will not work. We must communicate. There are so many times that I try to read your mind, you try to read my mind. So because of lack of communication, and some simple little things can send our relationship AY. Please, I'm asking you to communicate. This is a lack of communication will send us into divorce. and the relationship will not survive. Your marriage will not survive because we don't communicate. Should you go all the way when it comes to communication? What do you mean if you should go all the way? It's my question to you. Should you tell your partner all about yourself? Have a discussion, even things that happen to you before you get married, before you even meet the person. Should we have a discussion about everything, or we should just tell you what you need to know? It's always good that we put the cards on the table and be straight up with our partner. Tell them, yes, I was in jail for 2 years. Yes, I was a drunkard. Yes, I was a reveler. Yes, you tell them all about it. You put the cards on the table. So when they find this out 10, 12, 15 years down the road, then they cannot say that this is shocking to them. So it's best for us to communicate all these things before. We should communicate more. Communicate more. I never hear about a relationship with a lot of communication and they're not pleased about it. Your wife or your husband will always tell you you need to communicate more. It is sad that we communicate more on social media, on Twitter, on the phone, than even communicate one-to-one with our partner. Let's say that again. We communicate more on social media and Twitter and Facebook, on the phone, than even sitting down with our partner to have a conversation. Sometimes the way we communicate or lack of communication will lead to divorce. I'll repeat that many times. We have to learn how to talk to each other and learn how to listen. See, it's not about just talking to our partner. After the person talk, then we have to learn to listen. It is like playing a tennis. It takes two people to play the tennis, and we communicate with the ball. I hit the ball over the net to you, then you hit it back over to me. When it come back to me, I'm going to hit it back to you. You hit it back to me. So we have to communicate. But you see, a lot of time, we said, but I did tell you. But also, did you listen? Right? So when we are communicating, it's not just about talking. We have to learn to listen. And not just learn to listen. We have to learn to listen to understand. Not to hit back, but to get the proper understanding of what your partner is saying. There are many times, and we men are guilty of it, that we will listen to our partner, but we just want to listen to hear one word that maybe they don't even say that, but it sounds as if that's what they say. And then we just jump off our handle. We have to be very careful with that. When you communicate with your partner, you listen to understand, not to hit back. And if you don't understand what your partner say, please ask for clarification. Just ask them to clarify what, or please repeat it in a nice way. Please repeat what you said earlier, because I didn't get that. We can disagree, but please don't be dismissive. You can always disagree in an agreeable manner, but don't dismiss your partner. When you dismiss your partner, that's very, very disrespectful. You might not agree, but you don't have to dismiss me. You might not agree with what I just say, but you don't have to dismiss me. Another problem why we have so much divorce today, we have to open and be honest and be transparent. I think I touched on that before. It only takes one lie. Now, I only tell my wife one lie, but almost everything that I say to her after, she pivot from that one lie. So let's be open, let's be honest, and let's be transparent. It only takes one lie, and it starts to head down to the divorce direction. So let's be truthful. Even if you, even, but you might say, Brother Jackson, that lie or that truth is gonna hurt. I think your partner rather to be hurt by the truth than you telling the partner the lie. Don't make the conversation all about you. This is another problem that we are facing in our marriage today. It's all about me, myself, and I. No. Make the conversation. That's what it is. We are conversing. You're talking to me. I'm listening and I understand and I'm answering. But just don't make it about me. There are times that we are having a conversation with our partner and all we are saying is that it's all about you. You remember when you did this? You remember when you did that? You remember when you did that? It's not about just one person. It's a conversation. So it make it about both party. Don't make the conversation about you. Don't vent. Don't just run your mouth. That will turn your partner off. And you don't want to do that in a conversation. You want to have a conversation. You just don't want to turn your partner off. So just don't run your mouth. Ask for my opinion. You know, there are times that you even talking, it's all about you. So you want to tell me what? You didn't ask me my opinion. So it's all about you. Just bring your partner in the conversation. Is there anything I am doing? You know, so just when you're having a conversation, just say, honey, is there anything that I am doing that you'd like me to change? Is there anything that I'm doing that you don't want me to do it this way? Did I say something that offend you? You know, just bring the person in a positive way in the conversation. Let's look at be willing to compromise. Be willing to compromise. It is not all about me try and find a middle ground. You have to be willing to compromise. It's not all about you. Let's find a middle ground and compromise. If you think it's all about you, I'm telling you, you are heading for a divorce. And that is why the divorce is so prevalent today, because we make things, it's just all about us. It's not just about you. Find a middle ground and compromise. You're not in this alone. We are in this together. The Bible said you two become one flesh. So when you two become one, you work together as one. Another problem that especially we as men have, we don't pay attention to words or to body language. And I'm telling you, words are powerful. And when I say some men, while I'm saying that, I'm thinking that some women are very swift on their mouth also. So I should say that both parties have to watch their words and body language. Sometimes your wife or your husband might not say something, but the body language they gives off send off of vibes. So it will help you to see deeper, and it will keep you closer when you watch the body language. Be careful. Be careful, because maybe she is not in the right mood. So if the body language is not okay, maybe that conversation you could have it at a later date. If the body language is not okay, then maybe she's not ready for this conversation. So don't force her or him to talk at that minute. Just cool it off, then go back and try it later. But watch out for your words and be careful to pay attention to the body language. And we also have to take a loving and positive approach to our communication. Even if you are right, take a loving and positive approach to our communication. Sometimes it is not what you say, but it is how you say it. And not because you are right mean that you're gonna just say any words to your partner. No, be positive in your approach. I will look at maybe two more problems what cause divorce today, and one of which is finance. It's finance, right? Not making proper financial commitment and progress will end up in a divorce. We need to sit together and work together when it comes on to finance. You have some men will say that, well, I am the head of the house, so I do all these decisions. And that's not true. My wife handle finance better than me, so I would allow her to do the finance. Because if men, we must be honest, we just want to go and just buy a big piece of equipment and we pay thousands of dollars for it. But your wife will say, do we really need it? Because sometimes we don't really need it. So we have to sit together and do the finance. We have to make plans for tomorrow. We have to put away money for our kids coming up education. We have to put about money. We need to maybe invest in a car. Maybe you need to invest in a house. So we have to sit down and do the finance properly. Not because I am the man. Then they're going to say that I make all these decisions. Or because I am the head. I'm going to turn the whole body. No, that's not what it means being the head. You know, the head means, yes, I agree that the head, you are the head of the house. and not because your wife makes a better financial decision make you a lesser person. No. um, if she is in a better position, as I said before, with the finance, allow her to lead with the finance. This won't make you a less of a man. Set future plan about finance and work towards it. What about different account? Would you advise that as wife and husband you have different account? My advice on that would be that you could have different accounts for different reasons. You could have she could have an account that she go with shopping from one account. You could have a savings account. You could have educational account. I don't advise that you just have one account, but but to have that different accounts, that I do my own thing, you do your own thing, and so forth. No, I don't advise that. But I advise that you have different accounts for different reasons. That both of you, both of you have access to. And if you are a spendthrift, the relationship will not work also. So I would advise you to be careful in your spending. Let's not waste money. We will come back another time and we will finish talking about why are there so much divorce today, and in the beginning it was not so. I want to encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Chat with the Jacksons. We also want to invite you to join us live on Facebook every Tuesday at 8 p.m. where we continue to talk about the family. Thanks for your time. It was a pleasure talking to you, and until we talk again, we said peace. We love you and God love you too.